Good morning. We'll give you all a chance to jump on here. I slept in and I didn't have to get up as early this morning, so I just left it on the regular time. Hopefully you saw that we were a day off, or not a day off on our time, but I posted last night. I knew I was going to go to not have to get up for men's Bible study. We canceled it this morning being so cold, and the room has been, the heater hadn't been working in the room we're in, so it's -1 this morning, so we decided probably better if some of the old guys aren't out. Pretty sure most of them were okay with that too. Okay. I can get, there we go. That shut off. Good morning, Jared Cook. Good morning, Ryan Owens. How cold is it over there in Kentucky? -1 here. It's I talked to my friend up in Canada, Scott Latry. He said it was -43 for them. I think it was yesterday. So we can't complain. They're used to it. I mean and it's a different kind of cold up there. And if they get the wind, probably they're in the trees and timber enough that it isn't quite the same. But -43 is kind of like 120 in the heat. It may be dry heat, but it's still awfully hot. Morning, Mara. All right, let's see. Wait a minute. Yeah, close that. All right, oops. Let's go to get a few more on here in a minute. But morning, Mom. Good morning, Mara. Did have a grandson. Finally, he got here. Mom and baby are doing good, so we won't. We'll post after they do. They're being slow. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, my son doesn't do social media, so it's all up to his wife to get it done, and obviously she's had a lot on her plate. Morning, Christy. Oh, it's 13 there. Golly, you're at 13 in Kentucky. It's not even cold over there. Oh man, -1. It's supposed to get up to 20, maybe mid-20s today during the day, but then drop back down one more night of this, and then we'll be back above freezing. Pretty nice, I think, Wednesday and Thursday, but it'll be slower because of the snow being still on the ground. Although, man, the wind came up yesterday afternoon, 25 or 30, and boy, that was worse than I think that was worse than the cold. It was like 15 or so, 17 degrees outside, but it was the wind blowing like that. It felt like 5, but it would get. Yeah, it was cold. So well, let's go into the word on Psalms 139. Psalms 139. I was reading through these Psalms, and I'm reading a book, this book that I talked about on Sunday, In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day by Mark Batterson. Even if you don't read much, Mark Batterson is such an awesome author. He writes, he's a pastor, and writes, God-based stuff, and man, it's good. Just the way he illustrates stuff. You can get it on audio, I'm sure. I haven't checked, but I'd highly suggest you do it. If you want to be challenged and encouraged to be bold and live for God, and just live big. Not even what you might have think of whenever you say live for God. Uh, this thing is awesome. But he talks about the time where God is, and he's not in the same dimension as us. And this illustrates this in these first few verses here. Let's read verse 1, Psalms 139. He says, "O Lord, you have examined my heart, and you know everything about me. You know when I sit down and when I stand up. You know my thoughts, and even when I'm far away. Thoughts even when I'm far away. You see me when I travel. You know when I rest at home. You know everything I do. You know what I am going to say even before I say it, Lord. You go before me and follow me. You place your hand of blessing on my head. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too great for me to understand." Now, we can't really grasp all of that, but what he's saying is you're before me and you're behind me. You're all encompassing all at once. And if you think about a two-dimensional, like comic books or the newspaper comics, we don't look at those a whole lot anymore. But me growing up, I would love to get the newspaper, and Calvin and Hobbes was my favorite. Of course, Peanuts, was Charlie Brown was one that was a favorite way back. I don't remember when Calvin and Hobbes started, but it started a lot later than that one. But there weren't very many others. There's a few others that I would read and think were funny or whatever. But that's the characters within that are stuck in a two-dimensional zone. They can't come to life. They're on that, and obviously they're just drawn and that. But if they had life, they would have been limited, right? They couldn't come out of that into a three-dimensional world, and God's that much higher than us, or more, or 10 times that for us. He's able to be everywhere at one time. He's able to be before us and behind us. He's there out into the future. He's there, and he knows in advance. So he's not by not confined to those things. And now you say, well, that's hard to understand or hard to wrap our minds around. But apply that to our faith and realize that when we ask God for something, and when God promises us something, and we're believing for something, we are asking of a God who is not limited. We are limited, the things in this world, but he's not. And he goes on here and he says in verse 7, he says, I can never escape your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go to heaven, you're there. If I go to the grave, or to Hades or hell, is what some of the translations say, you are there. If I ride the wings of the morning, if I dwell by the farthest oceans, even there your hand will guide me and your strength will support me. He just goes on and on. And then he ends in verse 23 and 24. He says, search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Put out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life. So here is God, him asking God to search his heart and put out anything that's not of you, anything that offends you, anything. And so, as we grow closer and closer to God, that's something that we begin to want to do. Is we want to begin to honor God in that way. We want to come to God and say, here's my heart. Here are my thoughts. You know them, but search them and then reveal to me, show me what it is that I need to do different. If we could, even just in the first of the year, maybe just for timing's sake, but stop and do that. Say, God, what in my life do I need to adjust or change? How can I be better? What do I need to do And why am I in this position or in this place, and what do I do to change it? Maybe, or I want to be there. Here's my goals. Here's my plans. Analyze those, God. Look at those. Is my heart wrong in asking for that? Or is it wrong to be asking for that? Is that your will? And if it is, Lord, then show me the steps. Guide my path into seeing that come to pass. You know, when we begin to seek God like that and put God in that place of honor, that place of respect, and we walk in that kind of a fear of God that is a reverence and a respect and an awe that says, God, you're the one who's there and will be there. You're there in front of me. You're behind me. You're on every side of me. Your hand is upon me. You go to, again, that verse, verse 5, you go before me and follow me. You place your hand of blessing on my head. Boy, that's that fourth dimension, or that extra dimension of time that God has the ability to be in. There's a term for it he uses in there, some scientific term that helps us to understand that, but in the book that Mark Batterson wrote. But it, for us, the simplicity is that he's covering us from front to back. But no matter where we go, there he is. And boy, I tell you what, that's a comfort and a strength. Now, as we begin to pray and ask for things, you got to think about the difference between where we're at and where God is, and realize that he's also then unlimited to bring to pass the things that need to come into play, need to be shifted and changed. He's at work so that we can receive that blessing. His hand of blessing is upon us. And as we walk that out, or as we are in that blessing, boy, I'll tell you what, we'll begin to recognize it and just praise God for it. Thank God for it. Isn't it amazing? So go out today and just think about the fact that you are the child of, if you've made Jesus Lord of your life, you are the child of the God of the universe, the God who is unlimited and able to provide us everything that we have need of. It's an amazing thing. So go out today with expectation and go get them for Jesus. Love y'all. Hey, I did want to say, morning, Lucy. Morning, John Smith. Morning, Brad Mays. Good to see you. Got from the tip of the Panhandle, Oklahoma, to Kentucky, to Kansas. Tiffany, good morning. I don't think I saw you on here earlier. Anyway, it's going to be cold, but better, getting on the better side of this, man. I don't know about you, but I'm thankful for it. Thankful for the warmth that's coming, for sure. You guys have a blessed rest. Oh, no Cowboy Church tonight. We did go ahead and cancel. Our son had and daughter-in-law had their baby, and so we're headed down there this afternoon to see the baby. He came out awesome. Everything was, mama and baby are doing good. We'll get all the details and post it. We're letting them post first, and they're being slow. They've been kind of busy, but anyway, we'll let them do that. But excited about showing him off. He's a 8 pounds 6 ounces, 22 inches long, and so Shepherd Hayes Cronkite. We're excited bringing him on. Rhonda, good morning. 3 degrees in Kingfisher. It's -1 up here, Brad. I don't know what it is out there in the Panhandle. It's probably out there in Boise City. It's probably colder than that. But I don't know if John got off here or not. But y'all have a blessed day, and no Cowboy Church tonight. Oh, I guess I got to stop this one.